In the previous video, we had seen how to exploratory analyze the data set. We have come up with this particular summary table. Now the time is to visualize the average MPG based on the categorical variable cylinder. So let us work on visualization. Now the step is step 6. Step 6, visualize using a bar plot. And here, let me briefly explain what are the kind of steps we are going to do here. So we'll be basically using, we will be using ggplot2 library. So ggplot2 is grammar of graphics library version 2. It helps us to interactively or incrementally build a graphics or a visualization. Basically, ggplot package or the ggplot visualization start with the function called as ggplot. So this particular function takes multiple parameters. This ggplot function takes multiple parameters. So the first parameter it takes, or list of parameter it takes, are almost related to the data set. It takes the data set and it maps the data set to different dimensions of the graph. Different dimensions of the graph means which column needs to go on the x-axis, which column needs to go on the y-axis, what is the coloring variable, and these things. So the second function we will use in the ggplot ecosystem is AES, right? So this AES function in conjunction with the ggplot defines, or it sets the axis and colors, right? The third function we'll be using is geom underscore bar is the function we'll be using. This function primarily uses the actual values to draw bar chart, draw the bar chart. The next function we'll be using is labs, right? Labs. This function sets title of the graph, uh, title of the graph and x and y axis labels, or you can call it as titles, right? Finally, we will be using one more function called as a theme minimal. Theme minimal. We'll be using theme minimal to set the minimal theme, and it basically applies the minimal theme to visualization. So this is what we are going to do in this particular section. So incrementally, I will start explaining how each one of these functions in conjunction with the help of pipeline operator defined by dplyr we can do. Basically, let me add one. Here I have added a code block. In this code block, I will write a code. The first thing is ggplot. ggplot. So ggplot here will be using, sorry. So let me delete the code block. It is giving some trouble for me. So I'm inserting the code block again. ggplot. So here in this ggplot, I'll have to first specify the data set. Data set is data, and I need to set, not data. We have created summary data. Summary data we have created. So let me show you quickly what is actually summary data. This is the summary data. It has number of cylinder and average MPG for number of cylinder. For 4 cylinder, what is average miles per gallon? For six cylinders, what is average miles per gallon? And for 8 cylinders, what is average miles per gallon? So here, the first thing is to give that the particular data set. The next thing is to AES. So here in the AES, I need to specify what goes on the x-axis. X-axis goes as CYL. Okay. So y-axis is average miles per gallon, AVG, MPG. Color, we are specifying it was CYL. Color of that particular pillar, because we have 3 categories, 3 different colors will be reflected. So we have done this AES, and again, the next function I need to do is geom underscore bar. Geom underscore bar. Okay. So let me not go this further. I have created the summary data and I have created the AES, and outside this ggplot, I have added the geom bar. So this plus notation is coming from ggplot, and let me show you the output. So here, if I do ggplot, I have a 2 axis here. The first axis is the average miles per gallon and CYL. And I'm not able to see any bars or the bar graph getting generated. So in order to see the bar graph, I need to add geom underscore bar, right? Geom underscore bar. So I have not added the bar plot has not been generated, right? So why is it not generated? I need to specify one mandatory attribute, stat is equal to identity. So now you are able to see the bar graph getting generated. It is better to see this particular graph getting generated step by step. Here again, here again, I'll be inserting one more code block. Okay. So in this particular code block, I'll be adding first part of ggplot. And if I run this, I'm able to see the empty graph. And again, if I add a code block, on the top of this empty graph, I'm adding geom underscore bar identity stat is equal to identity. So if we execute this line, you'll be able to see the bar graph being displayed. What are we going to do here? As I've already said, ggplot is grammar of graphics. First, this line of code sets what goes on the x-axis, what goes on the y-axis, what should be the color of the pillar. And after that, I'm on that particular foundation, I'm drawing the bar graph step by step. So if I copy these lines of code and again on the top of this, I can further start adding the layers of the graph. The next layer I'm going to add is the labs, right? So the labs define the title of the graph. In the labs, first I'll be setting title of the graph. Title of the graph, I'm setting average MPG by cylinder count. Okay. The next is the x-axis title. I can set it as number of cylinders in car, right? The y-axis title I can set is average miles per gallon. Gallon of fuel. Okay. So next, now let me check what will be the output. I have some problem here. Geo underscore bar. Here it is showing some error. Plus dot gg plus single argument. So here is the thing. I cannot bring this plus to the next line. The plus needs to be in the previous only. So I have made that correction. Now let me check the output. Okay, so here is one space and here is one space. That should have an issue. Geo underscore bar. Okay, let me now check. Uh, okay, there is a comma missing between the title X and Y. That is the problem. Now I'm able to see average miles per gallon of fuel, number of cylinders in car, average miles per gallon by cylinder count. So the title average MPG by cylinder count has been the title of this particular graph. The x-axis, what I have given, has come and has become the x-axis title. And the y-axis label is average miles per gallon of fuel. And here you can see the legend of the graph. This is what we were expecting. Going further, we want to add a minimal theme for this, right? So the minimal theme can be added. Let me insert one more code block. In this particular code block, I'm just keeping the same what was the previous output, the code related to the previous output, and I'm adding uh, on the top of it, I'm adding theme underscore minimum. Now let me see. We will get the output with a light color background. Previously, it was the gray color background. Here, minimal theme has been chosen, and our graph is looking little clean compared to the previous one. So here, the couple of other things also you can do, like changing the place of the legend and all these things you can do. That is all optional. And one final thing I want to show you is here you are able to see the red color, green color, and the blue color at the border of these particular pillars. But actually, you can make these pillars filling by the cylinder colors. So by making the one small change here, I'm keeping all the previous code from I'm copying this, right? So here you can add rather than color, fill is equal to CYL. Okay, so here you can see much better graph. The line color of the pillar, the bar, and the filling color of the bar both are same. This looks much better compared to the previous version of this particular graph. So let me show you the complete graph in one frame. This is the final output of this particular graph. Here, one last thing we can do the exploratory analysis on this particular data set is alternative visualization of this particular ggplot. So as alternatively, what we can do is I can go for the step 7, wherein visualization. So here, this is optional. For your interest, you can do here instead of bar chart, we can use points and lines to show the trend. So here I will insert one more code block. Code block has been inserted and I have shown you how to insert the code block. So we can draw the trend line using ggplot. So ggplot, I am taking summary data and AES. Here x-axis I am going with the cylinder and the y-axis I am going with average miles per gallon. Summary data AES, AVG underscore MPG average miles per gallon, and group is equal to 1, And here I'm plotting geom underscore geom underscore point. So it will plot 3 points corresponding to average miles per gallon. You can see previously we had a pillars here. We have got the different points.